Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video. Yes, that's right. You read the title of what I'm reviewing, and seen as though that this year, this film is celebrating its anniversary, and this being, yeah, definitely one of Disney's gems, and that being from 1942, Bambi. Yes, and actually, because Bambi, at the time, it was like the last Disney feature film until, the war happened and Disney would only make package films, starting with Saludos Amigos. Actually, because, yeah, that came out the same year as this. Yes, Bambi and Dumbo being the last two before the war. So, yeah. And, of course, the story, the story of a young deer growing up in the forest. That's about it, basically. And based off of, from the story by Felix Salten. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I think, because Walt, I think he met Felix Salten, and Walt got the book rights, to make a film adaptation of Bambi. And if I recall, Walt wanted to make Bambi, right after Snow White, but it kind of got pushed back a little. We all know what would come next, after Snow White. Pinocchio, Fantasia, and Dumbo. And then after Dumbo, Bambi. So, yeah, and actually, I'm pretty sure, because both Dumbo and Bambi, they were being made at the same time and, came out, 1 year after the other. So, yeah. But, because basically, it's all about the life of Bambi, and, he is born, and all the forest animals hear about the news, and, we get the introduction of other characters from, Friend Owl. Is it Friend Owl? Because the name Friend is in is in his name, I guess, yeah. Yeah, and then of course, there's of course Thumper. I'd say Thumper is one of my favorite characters. I've had some good memories watching Bambi, but in fact, as I record this, I actually gave it another watch. It had been quite a while since I've seen it, and yeah. And for all time's sake, and since I was reviewing this, and since I knew I'd have to review this, especially since, again, this year marks the film's anniversary, I had a feeling as though that, I need to give this another watch. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Friend Owl. That his name, the word friend is in the character's name. Yeah, Friend Owl, being voiced by Will Wright. And the young characters, Bambi and Thumper, young Thumper being voiced by Peter Ben. Yeah, I think I got that right. And then Bambi, young Bambi, being voiced by Donnie Dungan. Dunnigan, if I'm saying his last name right, I guess, I don't know. In fact, there's an interesting story about Donnie, because when he got older, he, does it say on his IMDb page? I don't know, because, okay, I guess, because after, he served in the army, he was a Force Recon commander during 3 tours in Vietnam, and he kept it a secret that he was the voice of Bambi. What he was doing when he got older, oh gosh, wouldn't you be embarrassed to tell others what you did as a kid, just so you were the voice of Bambi in Disney. But anyways, so, and then of course the mother. Wait a minute. Does it even show who the voice of the mother is? I know she's listed, but I don't know. Oh, well, Thumper's mother being voiced by Margaret Lee. That's another thing too, because Thumper's mother was pretty funny too, because, what did your father tell you? Just scolding her son. Well, I don't know if the word scolding is the correct word, that, if that's what I'm looking for, but, Okay, Bambi's mother being voiced by Paula Winslow. Yeah, Winslow. Bambi's mother being a very sweet, dove, and mother, basically. And Bambi's like first experiences, like learning to walk, and him having fun with Thumper and Thumper's all of Thumper's sister bunnies, basically, and learning how to speak, bird, because I can't do the nose, and from bird, butterfly, flower, and calling a skunk Flower, in which that would be the skunk's name, Flower, young Flower, being voiced by Stan Alexander. And then, of course, like a moment of a storm, and the songs in the film, like one of the first ones, Drip Drop, April Shower, that song, and there's also the meadow sequence, and we see the young prince, which spoiler alert, he is Bambi's father. So, Bambi, I am your father. I'm sorry. It just popped in my head. I just wanted to do it just to be funny. So, it is funny. Have a sense of humor. And so, yeah, the Great Prince of the Forest, yeah, voiced by Fred Shields. He would be, then right after Bambi, in Saludos Amigos, as I mentioned, I reviewed Saludos Amigos. He's the narrator of Saludos Amigos. So, good for him. And so, especially because, when we see the Prince of the Forest, because that's when Man shows up, and Man being like the villain of Bambi. In fact, Man made it made it in the list of like the greatest villains, the AFI list of like the best cinematic villains. So yeah, I think there was Man and the Evil Queen from Snow White. Yeah, the Evil Queen is on the list too. So yeah, especially because the birds, I think they're crows. Yeah, I think they're technically supposed to be crowing, Man. So even Bambi 2 did that too. He did that as well. You can clearly hear it. But, we don't see Man, but when he's present, especially with the music, the birds, and the gun firing. Yeah, so then of course, during like Bambi's like child, like when he's little still, his experience, like first experience with fall and winter, and that infamous sequence where Bambi and Thumper, they're playing out in the ice rink, and Bambi having trouble like skiing, and like Bambi falls, and like Thumper, wow, is he saying wow or something? I don't know. Flower sleeping, for hibernation, and then very later on, that's when the most infamous, saddest moments in any Disney movie, the death of Bambi's mother, when Man out of nowhere shows up during winter. Quick, the Vicket! And everybody, as I recall, everybody's still talking about this sad scene to this day, and I won't deny, it's an emotional sequence where Bambi, we don't see it on screen. Actually, at one point, it was going to be shown on screen, the carcass of Bambi's mother, but I think for Walt and the animators, they felt that, it was too dark, and they just had to remove it. And even though we don't see Bambi's mother getting shot, we do hear the gun firing, and it clearly shows even when Bambi's looking for his mother. Yeah, even with the chorus, and, and that's when Bambi's father shows up. Your mother can't be with you anymore. And, right before they walk off, come, my son. Like, that's where he reveals to Bambi that, he is the father, and that's where Bambi 2 takes place. Although I don't consider Bambi 2 a sequel. It's not really a sequel. It takes place in the middle of Bambi, and before, Bambi would grow up. And that's where, of course, time passes, and of course with Bambi 2, where, Bambi's all grown up, and, the same goes for Thumper and Flower. What the heck is, like, how do you pronounce this word? Adolescent Bambi? Well, technically, grown-up Bambi. Adult Bambi, basically, being voiced by Hardy Albright. And then adult Thumper, wait a second. Wait a second. Okay, wait a minute. I think I got. But what the? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Adult Bambi actually being voiced by John Sutherland. Then I got a little confused. I apologize. Adult Thumper being voiced by Sam Edwards, and Adult Flower being voiced by, aka Winnie the Pooh, Sterling Holloway. Yeah, and and then before, and a year before Bambi, well, Sterling Holloway, his Disney debut, being doing a lot of voices for Disney. It was in Dumbo. He was the stork, yeah, who delivered Dumbo to the mother. So Mrs. Jumbo. So yeah, it's interesting to know that I guess many people don't realize, and they forget. I guess I probably so, that they forget that Sterling Holloway actually voiced Adult Flower in Bambi. So I mean, he was best known for being the voice of Pooh and the Cheshire Cat and Caw the Snake, but also, as I mentioned, the stork from Dumbo and Rupert the mouse in the Aristocats. Yeah. So, and not to mention, he did a lot of narration for some of the Disney shorts, like The Little House, Susie, The Little Cab, Goliath the Second. I could go on, and that mouse with Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson, yeah, who, the kite getting hit by lightning. Yeah, that short. So yeah, and that's when they all three of them meet up, and of course with Friend Owl, spring is happening and everybody's Twitter-pated, and Friend Owl going through great detail about Twitter-pated. You're walking along, and then you look to the left, on to the right, and, you get weak in the knee. And I just love the faces that Owl gives, and your head's in a whirl. It's so funny. And of course, Friend Owl warning all three of them, it could happen to you, and you. And Flower's like, and yes, it could even happen to you. And he's right, and well, even when they say, well, it's not gonna happen to me neither. Me neither. It does happen to them. A flower meets a girl flower. Well, technically, girl skunk. Flower, you get that stuck in your head. Then Thumper meeting, a girl rabbit. It's kind of nice that even say that girl rabbit that Thumper gets, falls for, she became a meet and greet character. I think, yeah, I met her, like, at Animal Kingdom, like, her and Thumper, that was really cool. I think so, yeah. But I'm pretty sure that, yeah, I've met Thumper, and I'm sure that I've met that girl, Bunny. What's her name anyways? I forget. Like, is she even listed? Like, well, and the voice for that bunny, I don't know. Yes. That's all she's called? That's all? Girl Bunny? Okay. Being voiced by Thelma Boardman. She never had speaking lines, just kind of singing, la. So, sorry. And then also, of course, Bambi, and oh my gosh, I completely forgot to mention her, because Bambi first met her when they were little doves, deer, basically. Feline, and Feline, let me see, Feline, where's the voice of young Feline? Oh, yeah, here it is. Young Feline being voiced by Cammie King Conlon. I think I got that right. And then adult Feline being voiced by Ann Gillis. Okay, I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure that I've seen Ann Gillis in something else. I can't remember. And then maybe the same goes for, what's her face who voiced, young Feline. I don't know. I mean, I'll have to check again. But anyways, so adult Bambi and adult Feline, they meet once again. And of course, Bambi, of course, does officially fall for Feline, but that's all interrupted by Ronald, this bully deer, basically, who wants to mate with Feline. Well, heck, he was a bully we see him in Bambi too, and they were little kids. But I kind of like this, okay, it's like after Bambi 2, and when they're now adult deers, like full-grown deer, like Bambi has just about had enough, and now goes in to fight Ronald, and that's great. Well, he did fight Ronald a little bit when they, near the end of the second Bambi film, which, I'm going to review Bambi 2 eventually, so, to talk more about that. But anyways, of course, Bambi defeats Ronald. There's another song number. It's a nice song number, as Bambi and Feline, they're just running around, and it's a love song for them. I bring you a song. Yeah. Man, the chorus and singers that from the classic Disney films were some of the best for sure. Of course, afterwards, and like the next day, I guess, that's when Man once again shows up. And of course, Bambi meeting up with his father once again. And according to his father, there's more men out in the forest and ready to go hunting. And of course, even like the animals like scattering and they're hiding. Well, even like say one bird is so scared and just, she flies off and, well, she gets killed. We see it. We see her body landing, God, and all the animals scattering. And that's when, well, even at one point, Bambi and Feline, they were kind of separated, but then Feline getting chased by the dogs, and we see the dogs and Bambi fighting off against the dogs, and when Feline escapes and, Bambi getting away from them, and he knocks rocks on the dogs. And that's when, I guess, one of the men shoots Bambi. So I kind of wonder, maybe, got pissed off at what Bambi did to the dogs. I don't know. That's just my guess. But that's when very later, a fire occurs, causing, most of the forest to be set on fire from Man's campsite. And I think originally we were supposed to see Man, but obviously they were cut, and again, you never see them. They're there, and because of the music, the birds, and the dogs gunfiring, yeah, they're there. But I think because that they were at one point, gonna be shown, I guess they were supposed to be killed by the fire, I'm pretty sure, of what they started, but I guess that happens, but of course, it was cut. You get my point. Even say, Bambi's father telling Bambi to get up, because, well, Bambi's still being wounded by the gunshot, but of course, Bambi does get up and, get up and, follow me, and they're running around through the forest, getting away, avoiding trees being knocked over. Even say when they get up to a waterfall, one big tree is almost about to come down on them, they jump into the waterfall, and then, of course, everybody has survived, all the, forest animals have survived on, land, basically, and Feline and Bambi are reunited once again, and the epilogue, everything's, back to normal, and, the forest looks beautiful, and then news breaks to the forest animals that a newborn deer has arrived, and this time it's two, and of course, Feline is the mother, and, even we see Thumper and Flower, they have kids of their own. Well, after, say, what happened when they were Twitter-pated, yeah, basically. The question is, whatever happened to, say, Thumper's mother? I guess she's still around, I don't know. But, and of course, Friend Owl getting, last bit of the last lines, and, Prince Bambi ought to be very proud, I guess that's kind of what he says, yeah, and even we get one last shot of Bambi and his father, looking down at them, and I think it's obvious that, yeah, Bambi's father, the father passed the torch to his son. Bambi is now the prince of the great prince of the forest. Yeah, so, hey, good for Bambi's dad, getting to be there, and be, to see Bambi's, kids be born and, Bambi's dad becoming a grandfather. That's great. So yeah. And again, as I said, that's a good way to end that film. Again, as I just explained, like Bambi now becoming the prince, the great prince of the forest, and yeah, what a great way to end the film. Bambi is without a doubt a masterpiece and one of Disney's gems for sure. Definitely, I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. And what about you guys? What do you think of Bambi? What did you think of my review? Leave comments and give this review a like as always. So with that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Bambi. More reviews coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward. And I'll see you guys in the next video/review. And stay tuned later tonight, once again, continuing reviewing more Marvel films, and we're going back to the X-Men universe, which this being an Origins film. You probably know what I'm talking about. Take care, and peace out.